Hi friends, welcome to day 23 of Yoga Connection. Yesterday's practice was a pretty fiery class, so today we're going to go really slow and it'll be a little bit shorter of a practice with a meditation at the end. And today's connection is connection to oneness. Oneness within ourselves, but also with everything around us, including everyone. We'll also be chanting the sound of Om today, and Om is known as the sound of the universe. And I had a wonderful teacher say to me once, it's the sound of everything, but also the sound of nothing. And I think this relates really well to the idea of oneness. It's kind of hard to even imagine the fact that everyone in the world is connected. But when we can tap into that, we understand that if we do treat each other from a place of we are all the same, we are all similar, we'll realize that really we all have a lot less differences than we think, and we have a lot more in common. So today we'll start in a comfortable seat. You can move the hips up on a bolster or blanket and let yourself get comfortable. Closing the eyes and bringing the hands onto the knees for a moment. First, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Again, exhaling out the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Again, out through the mouth. And bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And we'll start today's practice with that sound of Om. If you want to just listen, we'll close our practice with Om and you can chant then. If singing is something that brings up a little bit of fear, see if you can push through that and just try something new. So first, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling to Om. Gently blinking the eyes open, placing the hands back on the knees, and we'll start in child's pose today. Extending the arms out in front of you, the hips will sit back, bringing the forehead to the floor or a block. Allowing the heart rate and the breath to slow down. The heart rate may have sped up a little bit with the thought of singing, and that's okay. From here, slowly walking your hands over to the right side of the mat and placing the forehead on the ground. Walking your hands over to the left side of the mat and letting the forehead meet the ground here. Slowly walking the hands back to center. When coming up, sitting the hips back, we'll come up onto the knees. You can stay where you are. I'm just going to turn forward to make it easier to see. Extending the right leg out to the side, the hands will come onto the ground. Turning the left toes in and sitting the hips back for that inner thigh stretch. Again, you can stay pretty high here. We just want to tap into the inner thigh. You can extend the arms out. Maybe the head reaches the floor, but maybe not today. Finding the pose that serves your body most. Slowly coming up onto the hands and switching sides. So the right knee comes down, the left leg extends out to the side. Turning the right toes in, and we'll set the hips back. As always, one side might feel a little bit tighter than the other, so just be gentle and mindful. One more breath here. Slowly coming up, bringing the hands and knees back to center. And taking a round of cat and cow. Inhale, opening through the heart. And exhale, rounding the back. Again, inhale, opening through the heart. Exhale, rounding the back. Coming on to the belly, bringing the arms out to the edges of the mat. Inhale up through center. And exhale, dropping the right shoulder, looking towards the left. Inhaling back through center. And dropping the left shoulder, looking towards the right. Inhaling through center and switching sides, right shoulder down, gaze looks towards the left. Inhale, center, left shoulder down, looking towards the right. Inhaling back to center. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll push back to child's pose again. Coming back onto hands and knees on the inhale, letting the hips fall to either side, and we'll come to a seated pose. We kind of touched on this the other day, so we'll bring the hands back behind us, coming into reverse tabletop into the shoulder stretch. So if feet are planted down on the ground, pushing the hips towards the ceiling, raising the heart as well, and the head can look towards the legs or towards the ceiling. From here, scooting the hips forward, bending through the elbows and resting here for a moment, getting into the shoulders. You can even close your eyes here. Slowly bringing the hips back to the hands. We'll cross the right foot over the left knee, coming into a seated figure four stretch. Lots of different options here. You can keep the hands behind you as a guide for the chest. If you don't feel much of a stretch here, what I recommend is walking the hands forward and then scooting the hips forward. And maybe that'll find a little bit deeper of a stretch in that right hip. Inhaling and exhaling, and continuing here for a few breaths. And continuing on what I touched on in the beginning of class, as we all have a lot more in common than we think. I think nowadays it's really tough with social media to see everyone having like the best time of their lives, when really times get tough. We don't typically get to see that part of other people's lives. But I've noticed the more I open up to friends about rougher periods, I notice that a lot of people are going through that as well. And again, just remembering that we have a lot more in common than we think. Placing the right foot down on the ground, bringing the hands behind you, fingers point towards the hips, pushing the hips towards the ceiling, reverse tabletop again. Slowly releasing the hips towards the heels, getting into those shoulders, opening through the chest here, and then bending into the arms. This feels really intense, just scoot the hips back a little bit. And then start by scooting the hips quite a bit back, just to start with the figure four, crossing the left foot over the right knee, opening through the chest. Again, if this doesn't feel like enough, you can scoot the hips forward towards the right leg. If it feels like too much, scoot the hips away from the leg. Just remembering to flex the left toes towards the knee. Again, possibly closing the eyes. And see if you can try to imagine everyone else who's doing this class right now. Whether you're practicing at home alone or maybe with a friend. Remembering there's a lot of other people in this community practicing right now and today. Walking the hands back behind you, placing the left foot down, scooting the hips back. We'll take one last tabletop, reaching the hips towards the ceiling, opening through the chest. And exhale, sitting the hips down. Extending the right leg out to the side, the left leg will stay in towards center. Inhale, raising the arms up, Gentle stretch of the lower back. The right arm will come either onto the knee or inside of the leg. The left arm will start on the lower back. The inhale reaches the heart towards the ceiling. The exhale releases the head towards the leg. Again, inhale, opening the heart towards the ceiling. And exhale, releasing towards the leg. If you'd like to add on here, maybe those left fingertips come to the side of the head, making sure not to compromise the posture. We want to stay opening through the chest. Or those left fingertips can reach towards the toes. We just want to focus more on the torso than anything else here. And slowly bringing that arm down, coming up through center. And switching sides, bending the right leg in, extending the left leg long. Inhale, raising both arms. And release the left arm down, the right arm comes to the lower back. Inhale, spiraling that left rib cage towards the ceiling, and exhale, releasing towards the leg. Again, a nice opportunity to close the eyes, to tap into yourself, and also everyone else in the community. Fingertips may come to the side of the head, or the right hand can reach towards the foot. Again, just wherever you are, making sure the elbow and chest are reaching towards the ceiling. Slowly coming up through center. And we'll cross the left leg first, and the right leg will come over. So a couple different options here. You can start with stacking the knees on top of each other, the feet come out to the sides. If that doesn't feel good in the body, you can just kind of bring the legs crossed like normal. Just find whatever works best for you. We're going to be doing a little bit of the hips as well as the upper body. Bringing the arms out to a T. The right arm comes low, the left arm comes over, and we'll start by hugging ourselves. And if this feels good, you can stay here, or maybe the backs of the hands reach towards one another, or the palm and fingertips come to touch. Staying here, or taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, curl forward, stretching into the hips, the upper back, and neck. Breathing here. Remembering you're not alone in this. You may have a strong yoga community, or you may be one of your friends or family that practice yoga, but you are not alone. Slowly bringing the chest back to center. Unraveling the arms, extending the arms out, and we'll switch sides. So extending both legs forward to start. And then crossing the right leg in. Again, you can come to a seated cross-legged, or you can cross that left knee over the right. Bringing the feet somewhat parallel with the shins, doesn't have to be perfect. And now we'll cross the left arm over, or the left arm under the right. Again, you can hug backs of the hands or palms and fingers to touch. Feel as though you're trying to pull your elbows away from each other and push the hands towards one another. If you have the shoulders, still feel like you're pulling the elbows away from each other. And then slowly again, curling towards center, rounding the back, letting the chin rest towards the chest. Slowly unraveling back to center. Releasing the arms, extending them wide. Bringing the hands behind you, the feet will plant on the ground, and just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then We'll end today's practice in a loving kindness meditation. It's called a Metta Meditation. If you want to take a Shavasana now, that's fine, and then you can join us in the meditation after. If you want to sit up on a bolster, a block, or a blanket, just raising the hips off the ground a little bit. And then the arms will extend down onto the legs, and the pointer finger and thumb will come to meet. And this chin mudra is known as the true self bowing down to God or the higher self, whatever you believe in spiritually, or you can just visualize this representing oneness, the full circle of all of us connecting to the earth and ourselves. Closing the eyes, and bring your attention to somebody that you love. Somebody that brings you so much joy, and imagine they're sitting right in front of you. And when you picture this person, imagine yourself sending them love, wishing them peace, and hoping that they stay free of internal or external fear. And take one more moment to visualize them. Maybe see how your heart center feels. Maybe you feel really lit up. And next, call someone to mind who you might be in a moment of conflict with. Maybe it's someone close to you or very far away from you. Notice what happens to the breath and the heart center. And when you visualize this person, take a moment again to send them love, wishing them peace, and hoping that they stay free of internal and external harm. If different emotions are coming up, that's okay. And now, imagine that you were walking down the street of a busy city. Maybe it's a city you live in, somewhere you've been before, or even just one you've seen on TV. Trying to visualize all the people walking by. Maybe you're making eye contact, maybe not. Picture the buildings, the sidewalks, the weather. Most importantly, all the people around. And as you see these people, try to remember that each one of them is someone's loved one. Someone's mother or father, sister or brother, partner, maybe daughter or son. Remembering that everyone we interact with in life is someone else's loved one. And what would it be like if we treated everyone as though they were our loved ones? Finally, bringing your right hand to your heart center and your left hand over that. And bring your attention to now yourself. Remembering that you are someone's loved one. And you are fully worthy of love and peace. And that this community is wishing you freedom from internal and external harm. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart, an Anjali Mudra prayer. And we'll close our practice the way we began with Om. Again, you can join in or listen. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling to Om. Always know that the light and love within me is very proud and honored to witness the vibrant and unique light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing and connecting to oneness today. If you've never done the loving kindness meditation, it's a really good practice to do whenever you can, just to remember that we are all connected and that we all have a lot more in common than we do differences. If you would like to comment below just to let us know where you're practicing from, whether you're doing this video when we released it or years from now, just know that people are still practicing, people are still doing it. It's fun to kind of check in and see where everyone's at. If you did like this and you want to subscribe to the channel, please do that. And you can also connect with us on Instagram as Emily Henderson _yoga and YOGATX. Have a great day.